Hello and welcome to round one with Greg Orange's Blue-White Control. We are on the play. Let's see. This is fine. I think I'd even keep this on the draw. Verdict, it's not the greatest, but we're able to fight a Liliana early against those decks. We have answers. We'll draw out of whatever kind of stall we're in. Curving is probably going to be Hollowed Fountain into Seachrome Coast. I guess Flooded Strand next. And then if we draw Ancestral Vision, we will wait to suspend it until turn 3 just so we have our answers up. I think that specifically the texture of this hand plays really badly if we fall too far behind early. We want to be able to get the maximum amount of, we're light on interactions, so we're going to have the Supreme Verdict carry the most weight possible. So, well, it's going to carry a lot of weight in this matchup. So, our opponent is playing Elves. We are going to specifically save this Mana Leak. I guess depending on what happens this turn, we might have to fire it on like a Heritage. But, because Heritage puts us out of, yeah, whatever. I don't care about that. That'll just get eaten by that Verdict. But if our opponent Heritage is here, it's kind of sketchy because the Mana Leak, yeah. I can path the Heritage. Can either leak it or path it. This is actually super interesting. So I think, so my opponent's endgame, I kind of like, I want to leak it, I think. So if I let it resolve, leaks just blank, at least until I Wrath. Well, that's the tap land I would fetch with Strand, so I'm just going to play that tap this turn. The only thing my opponent has that I'd want to leak as opposed to path is our Collected Company. I think having the mana flexibility later is nice, like I can Jace with a mana up or something like that. Yeah, I'm fine taking 5 and exchanging Supreme Verdict for those creatures. I'm going to opt to play the Ghost Quarter here. There's a chance that over the course of the game, I don't end up needing this Flooded Strand mana. And if I don't need it, I'd rather just be up a life against my opponent's kind of crappy beatdown deck. So here's the Collected Company follow-up. Great. Hopefully it's nothing relevant. And then here, because I use the Mana Leak, I can now Jace plus Path here. So like that's the upside. Sure, I'll take my 2 irrelevant damage. So, I believe the correct play here is plus Jace. And then I can minus it later once I can defend it with the cards that I hit. Also specifically because next turn, once I minus Jace, I can hit Snapcaster, Snap Wrath, and have a protected Jace. This is going to be very key in keeping me out of repeated Shaman range. I think I just need to hit another Snapcaster is really the card I need to hit. And so there are only 2 Hollowed Fountains in this deck, so I found, yeah, sure, whatever. My opponent attacks me. I think the additional cards are so important that I am perfectly fine. Like, so I'm pathing this kind of irrelevant 3/2. It's a card. I have to kill the creatures at some point. But by trading the path here, I get either my best card of my top 3 or 2 cards out of my top 3 with Jace, which seems pretty nice. Also with untapped mana, which is just backbreaking in this kind of deck. So my opponent has another company if they don't play something here. Okay, so they're going to witness the company. This is going to get complicated. Okay. So I definitely want cards. Well, Ghost Quarter doesn't do anything. Crucible doesn't do anything. Path kind of does something. Any order. I'll play that tapped. Then I'm going to escalate this and gain life and probably fire off the Jace. Yeah, Porphyry Nodes is just going to crush my opponent here. I probably don't want Mana Leak. I probably want Dispel and or Negate. I need to counter that Azuri. Sure, that's fine. I'm not quite comfortable enough with my mana situation to fire the Ghost Quarter. So those are both attacking. I think I have to fire Blessed Alliance. I think I need to path the Azuri. I'm going to 2-mode. I gain 2, and my opponent sacks an attacker. Gain 4, sack an attacker. They're going to sack this. Jace, I think, has to die just based on the way this Path to Exile lines up. I then have Celestial to handle this. Because I think I need the Path to handle Azuri. Unless this just breaks. If this card just breaks, I think there's a chance that I just want to keep Jace around. Okie dokie. Well, that did not break. So the amount of power this put into play changed my line to I think I have to hit something good off of this Jace. That was not good. None of these cards are good. So my opponent's giving me the option. I think Condemn is slightly better than a random card here. So I know their hand's Azuri and a question mark. So this is a super minor thing, but I'm gonna animate the Celestial and block because this forces the activation. And I think, I guess the card in their deck doesn't matter too much. Yeah. I'm firing this Condemn regardless just to save some life on this turn. So we're at 4-3. So I really need to hit something this turn. The Eternal Witness Collecting Company combination is absolutely brutal for these control decks. That's a good something. Wrath kills just Azuri, so I should fire Path to Exile and keep my dork around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I want to do that main phase. Because of Azuri pump happening on my opponent's turn. Yeah, they're just responding and regenning their other elves. And there's no need for me to play my land here. There's no need for me to Ghost Quarter against this stuff. The question is, so if my opponent just attacks with the elf token, I think I take it because the payoff of drawing Cryptic to bounce my own Snapcaster is so high that having this around is good. And I think the 2 life isn't a big deal. That also holds this off a little bit. So we're at 3 on Ancestral. Just got to survive a couple more turns. Hopefully my opponent does not have another Azuri. This Chord for Azuri? That's bad. So they can hit me for 5. I have no reason to chump because they make it a 5/5 trample. And now I'm just in top deck something or die mode. If I draw Cryptic, I want to bounce this, tap their creatures. Condemn, does that save me? 4. Okay, well, that doesn't do anything against this. This is 10, and I have 5 toughness, so I am dead. If I do this, so that's, oh, no, it's Xaxes, isn't it? Yeah, because, yeah, I think this is exact lethal. Should have switched those. Worth noting, if I was, like, not exactly dead, I would be able to let that resolve so my opponent couldn't Pendelhaven this. But did not work out. Yeah, this is 3 trample. Yeah, Xaxes dead. Yeah. Very close. Very close. So, trash. Absolute trash. Not exceptionally good. I want nodes. I want negates and dispels. Kind of like Click, honestly. So those 5 are definitely out. These are definitely in. I think Click's pretty sweet because it takes away a card from my opponent and like trades for their creature. It's really kind of like a 1.5 for 1, even if it's a little on the clunky side. I'm gonna cut another Condemn for another Click. Yeah, those cards all suck. One Condemn's not the end of the world. Oh, Spellsnar's not very good either. I think I'm going to leave in 1 because it still clips a Visionary or a Dwayne's Elite. Like, there's still cards that I can exchange it for, but would never want to draw a second. Alliance actually gives me life in the face of Shaman of the Pack, so I want that card. Yeah. I accept this. Not super happy about it, but I accept it. I don't like any part of this. I think I'm supposed to leave up Mana Leak to utilize my cards the best, even though, yeah, a turn off of Vision is not the end of the world. Yeah, that's, sure, not happening. Don't care. I've exchanged a card for a card. I think I'm now priced into firing Serum Visions. And then neither of those is land, which I think I require with this hand. D-Sphere is pretty good, though. Well, I definitely don't want Blessed Alliance. I think I need lands. I think I need more blue sources. If my opponent fires a main phase company, I'm very willing to tap my planes and then Ghost Quarter it for an island. Okay, my opponent has 1 mana floating and a Dwynen's Elite. Not having like a random creature to pick off all this nonsense is pretty brutal. Ugh. Ugh. This is all bad. I don't think I can suspend Ancestral here. I think I need the mana up. Because I can't afford to kill my own lands at this point. Last turn maybe, but now that I missed. Maybe I was just supposed to Ancestral the first turn possible. Thought I had a reasonable opportunity later, but... yeah, sure, that's just dying. Please leave the battlefield. There's going to be a lot of life total management this game. Okay, that's fine. Now that I have that, I'm still a mana off of the Cryptic, but because it's like I'm a blue land off anyways, I can just convert this. I'm like the fact that I'm 1 mana off the Cryptic, I'm fine converting this into a untap or a different land. Yeah, sure. You have an art or a heritage. I just have to counter all the other spells. It's a lot of them. Quite a few. My opponent has so much mana, though, it just doesn't matter. He didn't attack with that, so 3. So they're representing a chord? Don't really have any reason to attack. 3 turns to survive. I want to use... interesting. So... if I use... I can't Cryptic if I use Dispel, even though I have the mana up. So I should be using the Gate so that later I actually have mana up to Dispel with, like, a Supreme Verdict. I don't think my opponent has like choke or something. Choke doesn't even matter against these cards. I guess this is the other. Okay, that's pretty nice actually. I didn't think about that. Eventually I'll be able to leave up Celestial. I think I have to leave Path in my hand to let him take whatever. Chose kind of awkwardly there. Okay, whatever. I'm going to leave this up, and then I have both my 1-mana interaction spells ready. Oh my gosh, I'm just getting max punished for whichever one I used. They have Lead the Stampede and... and Chord and Collected Company? How does the math work on that? And Thoughtseize? How does that work? Do they side in Lead instead of Chord against me? I don't think I can get away with firing this Path here. I think I want it up with the Celestial. 2 on this. Right on time, buddy. Oh, not the one I want to expand. Yeah, this configuration of Blue 8 is not built well to beat Elves, sadly. I'm probably getting Shamaned this turn. Those are 2 cards I knew about. No, not Shaman necessarily. This is the black mana. Yeah, definitely Shamaned. Okay. Yeah, that is not a matchup that we were configured well for. Not enough Wrath effects. I think suspending the Vision on 2 might have been better. Just like accept that if my opponent Archdruids, I have to play on the back foot a little. I guess it's also not even that bad because I have Path Leak on a future turn. Yeah, that was a pretty big mistake. I could have been +3 cards over the course of that. Oh well. And then the negate. I don't think I can reasonably expect that much sorcery speed action on the next turn. But negate. I think the Dispel argument with Celestial up is more important. Yep. Oh well.